ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः बालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्या पारिषद्या परस्ततं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्चार्तेष्वभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेरे ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो वृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोच्छितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवनं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयम् मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। Now with Bhagavan's grace, we came up to slokam number 43 yesterday in the Adhyayam 24, Skandham number 3. Kardama Prajapati, after having been blessed and permitted by Bhagavan Kapila in Kapila Avataram, has now gone to the forest and wandering around in all places with his mind completely established, totally, exclusively established only in Bhagavan. Finally, this is what each one of us, this is what I know I have to do, every one of us have to do this, and he was doing that as he promised, as he told Swayambhuva Manu, and as he himself was blessed by Bhagavan Sriman Narayana when he gave him the darshanam even before he got married, etc., etc. All those stories now we have covered. So he has gone there. Let me go through 42 and 43 slokangal again. The beautiful slokangal, how what happens in the pathway of a bhakta as the bhakta merges with Bhagavan, as a river merges with the ocean. What happens? This is what the slokams all describe. So at least we can beautifully enjoy it, right? Personalize it and enjoy it. Vratam saha asitaha maunam atmaika sarano munihi vissangaha vyacharat shoni anagnihi aniketanaha mano brahmani yunjanaha yattat sat asataha param gunau abhasaha viguna ekabhaktya anubhavite. Now we are going to slokam number 44. Niraham krutihi nirmamaha cha nirbandvaha samadrik spadrik pratyat prashanta dhihi dhiraha prashantorbihi ivo dhadi. Niraham krutihi nirmamaha cha nirbandvaha samadrik spadrik pratyat prashanta dhihi dhiraha prashantorbihi Ivo Dhadi. Again, going through the meaning very quickly, and then same thing what Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita is exactly what is happening to Kardama Prajapati. Niraham kruti nirmamaha cha nir ahamkaram. Nir aham kruti. Ahamkaram means we call ahamkaram. It's not just ego or pride or something. It is a feeling that I am doing it. I am meaning my association, my thinking about me as my body and mind and intellect and my buddhi, etc., etc. Right? I do not think I am Atma. I do not feel I'm one with Atma. I feel separate from it. In that separated feeling of limited, the limitations, with the limitation that we drop on ourselves, in that limited envelope, I feel that I am doing it. Okay? And that is that ahamkara. So without that feeling, niraham kritihi, nirmamaha. See, when I don't associate myself with my body and mind, because I associate myself with my body and mind, I have the feeling of mine. This is my house, this is my car, this is my clothes, this is my family, etc., etc., etc. Right? That my comes in. And that is associated with the body only. They're all temporary, right? But I feel they are mine. They belong to me. I feel the money I have in my bank account, it belongs to me. It's mine. That feeling is there, isn't it? So we have to be true to ourselves. So that is mamakara. So nirmamaha, without that feeling of I and mine, nirdvandvaha, without the feeling of duality, whether it is cold or hot, whether it is humiliation or praise, or whether it is something that goes what we call as happiness or misery, right? Whatever it goes, sukham, dukkham, whatever it may be, there is no feeling. Samadrik, they look at it, the same mana mindset, the manapan mind. The mind looks at it without any difference at all. And how is it possible? See, when we have a surgery and the anesthesia is there, and as we come out of it, now the pain is not felt along with anesthesia effect is there, isn't it? So the anesthesia here is the love for Bhagavan. Then nothing else is felt, whether it is happiness or misery, sukham, dukkham. None of those are heat or cold or hunger or no hunger. None of those things is felt. Okay. Because these are all related to mind and senses, but Bhagavan's company is beyond all that. So Samadrik, Svadrik, and also with this oneness, the feeling of oneness, absolute equilibrium, Svadrik, he sees the Atma himself as one with the Atma. Pratyak, completely Prashant Dhihi. Dhihi, the mind is full of Prashantam, not only Santam, but Prashantam. The divine peace, the sukham, the bliss that comes with this. That dhiraha, the courageous person who uses his buddhi to control the mind. He's a dhiraha. Prashanta urmihi, ego dhadiva udhadi. Prashanta urmihi. Prashanta, peaceful. Urmihi, the waves. Udatihi, Iva, the ocean. Udati means ocean. So when the waves are peaceful, one with the ocean, how will that feeling be? That is what you experience. Niraham kritihi nirmamaha cha nirdvandvaha samadrik sadrik. Pratyak prashanta dhihi dhiraha prashanta urbihi iva sudhabihi. Now, it is so beautiful that what Bhagavan says in teaches in Bhakti Yoga in Bhagavad Gita in several slokas. Okay, again, there is not any particular order. Remember, one characteristic manifest, Niraham Karam manifest, all the others also will fall in place. Maunam will be there, Nirmamaha will be there, Bandhaha will be there, Prashantam will be there. Everything comes automatically so beautifully. It's just one immediately brings all the other things are manifested. But Bhagavan, in his infinite grace, like a divine mother, describes so many qualities of the Bhakta in Bhakti Yogam in different slokams, but they're all covered here. So let us look at slokam number 13 in Adhyayam 12 in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, very beautiful slokam. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitraha karunayeva cha nirmamo nirahankaraha sama sukhaha shami. Beautiful. The qualities of the Bhakta. He says, Same Priyaha, Same Priyaha. He is Saha, he is Me Priyaha, my darling is what Bhagavan says. The Divine Mother is speaking so lovingly. You don't have to be immediately think Bhagavad Gita is something, PhD level education and put a barrier between it and our mind. No. It is the simplest, sweetest language a mother is speaking to the child. In a kindergarten language. It happens to be in Sanskritam. That is not a problem. Once we understand it and understand the Sanskritam a little bit, it takes a little bit of effort, but very easy to understand. Then you can listen directly from Bhagavan. Okay? Not through English translation or Tamil translation or anything at all. Directly from Bhagavan you can hear. Then you see how simple it is. Swami says here, Adveshta sarva bhutanam, without any dvesham. Dvesham means hatred. Okay? There's no dislike towards sarva bhutanam, to all beings, not only other human beings. Some of them behave the way we don't like to behave, so we develop a dislike to them. These are all incorrect. They're all wrong. So these are all things that we need to correct ourselves. On an individual basis, it's not others' fault. It is my fault that gets reflected in others. Always remember that. When I see a mistake in somebody, it is actually my mistake in me that gets reflected. So I need to correct it. So it's very important education lesson to be learned and practiced. So Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. It could be a snake also. I don't have any dislike towards it. Absolutely. Then Maitraha, with a charitable, friendly mindset approach to everything. Karuna, loving to everything. Nirmamaha nirahamkaraha. This Bhakta, once the slokam number 8 in Adhyayam 12, we saw it yesterday, my avesya manaha, no, that's not the one. I'm looking at number 8. Okay, Mayeva mana adasva, Mayeva mana adhatsva, place your mind in me. Mayi buddhim nivesaya, establish, let your buddhi be also living in me. Nivasishyasi mai eva, you are living in only me. Afterwards, urdhvam, you will rise up, progress in this path of bhakti. Na samsayaha, do not doubt it. When that process comes, and Swami says, yes, abhyasena, practice it. Even if you cannot, the next few slokams are very briefly, I'll cover that without going through them. Because how is it possible to do, so difficult to do? Practice doing it. It may sound very difficult. Practice it. But even practicing happens to be very difficult for you. You just offer everything to me. At least you can do that. Even that is difficult for you to do. At least all the results of all the action, you give it to me. Don't worry about it. Karma palatyagam is what he says finally. That is the most important thing to learn. Once we do that, karma palatyagam, whatever, I do it as worship to Bhagavan, and if it happens, it happens. It happens in a different way, that's also fine. I get blamed for something that I did, I do good. That is okay. That's also Bhagavan's, the result is coming. Not to be bothered with the result. Seriously, not to be concerned or bothered with the result. This is so counter to all the things we've been taught in school. It takes a while to learn this. In school and in corporate life and all that, we are always taught to achieve something, achieve a certain result. This is it is nothing wrong in wanting an A+ and studying hard. There's nothing wrong in having a goal, okay? To climb Mount Everest, nothing wrong in that. But wanting that result to happen is where the problem is. So, what the Bhagavad Gita teaches, what the Sanatana Dharma teaching is, my karmanyeva adhikarase, my charter is only to do the job that is given to me to the best of my ability, offering it to Bhagavan. and completely decouple from the result. Karma phala tyagam. Mind should not even be thinking about result. Should be completely not even bothered. Whatever happens, that paladhata gives it. Accept it and move on. That's all. That mindset has to be developed. And that once that comes, and that will come only in the company of Bhagavan, then all the qualities of bhakta will start manifesting. Okay? And one of them will be nirmamaha nirahamkaraha. When I start doing things without really being concerned or bothered with, people say not desiring the result. It is not a question of not desiring or desiring. Not even bothered with it. Okay? It says, karmaneva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. Ma paleshu, it says, don't even be bothered with it. The result will come by itself. So that can happen only when I start practicing that, karma phala tyagam. Swami, it is you who gave. Then my mind will automatically focus on the action only, not on the result. Once it starts focusing on the action, slowly that action itself will teach me that I am not doing the action, but the action is doing me. Slowly all these things will open up. Then the nirahamkaraha will start come. Once the nirahamkaraha, without that I feeling that this body, this mind, that slowly will dissolve, there is no question of mind. So that feeling, that is what Bhagavan describes. It's so beautiful. It is Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitraha Karunevacha, something that a phenomenal mantra it is. So anyway, come back to Bhagavatam now. Nirham kritihi nirmamaha cha nirdvandvaha. See, nirdvandvaha means that without any duality is the way immediately it is translated in English. But you see, for opposites, they say, actually, when you look at a quarter, they give you a quarter and say, okay, is it head or tail? Oh, no, you look at it, one side is head, it's another side it's tail. Okay, do you want head or do you want tail? That differentiation itself is erroneous. In the spiritual field, we're all taught to differentiate, to divide, to always look at the difference. A child that is born does not know the difference, but we teach it, right? So the way to look at a quarter, it is neither a head nor a tail, but it is a quarter. Both sides of the same coin. In the same way, life will have both, but I should focus on a life, not on either sukham or dukkham. That manapanmay, that mindset will also come. That's what he says. Sama, dukkha, sukha, sami. He says that basically oneness in both dukkham and sukham, and then the same again, nirdvandaha, it also comes in another beautifully Swami uses the same word. Bhagavan Krishna uses that to Krishna. I think it's in Sankhya Yogam, but I'm not sure. But same word comes there. But let me give you a couple of other examples. If you look at number 17 in Adhyayam 12, Subha Subha Parityagi. See, Subha Asubha. We all want Subham only. We all want auspicious only. We do not want inauspiciousness. Subham, Asubham. But both of them are one and the same. Then, if you look at number 18 slokam in Adhyayam 12, so see the second line, you see that Samaha, Satraucha, Mitrecha. Friend and enemy is the same. That is Nirdvandaha. Okay? Tata, Mana, Apamanayoho. That fame and reputation as well as humiliation and derision. A praise as well as blame. Both are the same. Mana apamanayoho. Sitoshnaha sukadukkeshu. Sita ushnam. The cold as well as the heat. One and the same. So this is nirdvandaha. Samadrik. Seeing all this as one. Exactly what Bhagavan says in Bhakti Yoga. Then Pratyak Prashantadihi. That also, that Swami uses the same word. Okay, 1 minute. Urdhvana Samjaya, Dhananjaya. The Prashantadihi comes in a couple of places, at least a couple of places in Bhagavad Gita. I'm not able to locate the slokam now, but basically the mind becomes so with a divinely peaceful. That is the way to put it. It is not just ordinary peace, but a divine peace. Prasantam it will be. That dhiraha prasanta urbihi iva udatihi. At that point, the feeling of separation, the wave still thinks it is separate from the ocean, but it is very peaceful, right? Prasanta urbihi, peaceful waves on top of the udadihi, the ocean. Yes, that is a 44. Now going to 45, Vasudeve Bhagavati Sarvajñe Prati Agatmani Parena Bhakti Bhavena Labdhatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Vasudeve Bhagavati Sarvajñe Prati Agatmani Pratyagatmani Parena Bhakti Bhavena Labdhatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Now, Mukta Bandhana. Bandhana means bondage. Bondage is the association with the body and the mind. That's the first bondage. Then the feeling of separation is there. Okay, that is the second bondage. That is the ahamkaram. The feeling of separation has to go away. Now, finally, that is the final one. Once that goes, that is the ajnanam that gets removed. So, Mukta Bandhana, freed from all bondages. Okay? Seriously, all bondages, not only wife and children, but whether bondage to sleep, bondage to hunger, bondage to the nitya karma, everything completely free. Mukta Bandhana. Parena Bhakti Yogena. Parena, supreme Bhakti Yogena, in the Bhakti Yoga pathway. That means embracing Bhagavan exclusively and totally with love, selfless love. Swami, I am yours. Well, we begin with saying, you are mine. But then, Bhagavan, Swami, I am yours. You do whatever you want with me. I am yours. Okay? That's as Rama asked Hanuman, what, how do you feel about me? Okay. And Hanuman asked, Swami, you know, I belong to you. When I look at myself as, as this body and this mind and all that, I belong to you. I'm yours. But then, when I go deeper, I feel that, first he says, you are mine. You know, I'm your servant. Dasoham, he says, isn't it? Kosala Putra, that comes, Kausalya or something, I forget the word now. So, Dasoham, he says, I'm the servant of you. That is the first level. I am yours. Then, when you meditate and go a bit deeper, then I realize, Swami, I am actually yours. I belong to you. Then, when in touching myself in Hridayam, being one with me there, Rama, you and I are one. This is what he says. That's the three different stages. Okay? And here it so beautifully it talks about that Bhakti Yogena, Paramena Bhakti Yogena, Parena Bhakti Bhavena, it says, or Bhakti Yogena, both are the same. And Bhagavati, that Bhagavan, Sarvajñe, Sarvajñan, okay, that Vasudeva, Bhagavati Sarvajñe, Vasudeve, in that Vasudevam, Labdhatma, it is having obtained that. Imagine one had to do the darshanam of Bhagavan within me. That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Once I have the darshanam of the Bhagavan, I have a knowledge of that Bhagavan. But still I feel separate. Then praveshtum, drashtum, jnatum, praveshtum cha is what it comes in Bhagavad Gita. So that describes it so beautifully. Labdhatma, in completely engrossed in that Bhagavan who is the indweller. So that is the slokam number 45. Vasudeve Bhagavati Sarvajñe Pratyagatmani Parena Bhakti Bhavena Labdhatma Mukta Bandhana. Now, the Vasudeva is very important. Bhagavati Sarvajñe. Now, let me refer you to another beautiful place in Bhagavad Gita. It's so full of, each slokam in Bhagavad Gita is a priceless treasure. I cannot overemphasize it. Only those people who are blessed enough, they even get to see this. And once you begin to taste the nectar of Bhagavad Gita in any slokam, it doesn't matter. All slokams say the same message. They are not different. Then you see what a phenomenal nectar it is. If there is nectar available in this world, Bhagavad Gita's teaching is so unbelievable. Look at Adhyayam number 7, slokam number 19. It's exactly what Bhagavan says is what is happening here. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadhyate vasudevaha sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many, many births. Now, he's not talking about Karjama Prajapati. For us, it is many, many births. Karjama Prajapati was basically one birth, he got it. Okay? Bahunam janmanam ante. After at the end of many, many births, Jnanavan mam prapadhyate. This Jnani comes and reaches me, attains me. Vasudevaha sarvam iti. He sees Vasudeva. Vasudeva means Vishnu. The one who is indweller in everything and shining as everything. That is Vasudeva, one who is, in colloquially we say Vasikarde, that means to live. One who lives in everything, all the things in Jagat. That anubhavam you get. That is what Vasudeva Bhagavati, Sarvajñe. Sarvajñe is the Jnanavan. Okay, Pratyadatmani, Parena Bhakti Bhavena, Labdhatma Mukta Bandhana. Let us go to Slokam 46, and then we'll also take up 47 today. A few more extra minutes we will take up. Now, 46 is another beautiful Slokam. Atmanam sarvabhuteshu bhagavantam avasthitam apasyate sarvabhutani bhagavat apicha atmani. Atmanam sarvabhuteshu bhagavantam avasthitam apasyate sarvabhutani bhagavat api cha atmani. Now, at this stage, bhagavantam atmanam, the Bhagavan, who's also Paramatma, Bhagavantam atmanam, sarvabhuteshu, in all beings. Okay, apasyate, he saw the actual Vasudeva, Bhagavan who's present in all beings. He had the darshan. Not only that, Atmanam, Bhagavantam Atmanam, Sarvabhuteshu Avasthitam. Avasthitam means one who resides in that apasyati, he saw that. He had the darshan. Not only that, Bhagavati Atmani api sarvabhutani cha. That Bhagavan Atmani api, we call Paramatma, Jivatma, there's no difference. That Bhagavan, the Paramatma, okay, he also saw the one who is present in everything, all the beings. He also saw that in him. Very important. He saw Bhagavan everywhere in everything. And the same everything, all beings, he saw in him, in himself also. Now here, let me take you to one important, another slokam in Bhagavad Gita, Adhyayam number 6. If you look at 29, he talks about Dhyana Yogam. Swami says, you meditate. And these are the things that will happen to you. That's exactly what's happening to Karjama Prajapati. He went and he goes and meditates, right? Sarvabhutastham atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. This is how you get the samadarshana of Nidbandha and all that. Sarvabhutastham atmanam. He says, see, that Atmanam sarvabhutastham. Atmanam, this Paramatma, sarvabhutastham, as present, as manifesting and present, shining in every being, in all beings. And then sarvabhutani cha atmani. All the beings are also atmani. In the Atma itself, they are all present. We saw both. It's exactly the same thing that is described here. And because of that, ikshate means to see, to have the darshan. That's not with the physical eyes that we have. It's an internal eye. Okay, and Yoga Yuktatma has one who has become highly skilled, very mature, ripened in the process of yoga, in this case Bhakti Yoga. Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. For everything he saw only oneness. Sama means not equal. Please do not make that mistake. Sama came as the English word as same. Same and equal are not exact, they don't have the same meaning. Okay, equal means one equal to another thing, but same means oneness. In our Sanatana Dharma, and the truth is, everything is complementary and harmonized. There is harmony among various things. There is nothing in the Jagat that is equal to one another. Okay, they're all complementary and harmonizing part of the overall body, the cosmic body. So Samadarshana, seeing oneness in everything, which is prema. Basically prema darshanam. Atmanam sarvabhuteshu bhagavantam avasthitam. Apasyat sarvabhutani bhagavat apicha atmani. Now you saw how it relates back to the same thing what Swami says is exactly what is happening here. Now 47. Icha gatvesha vihitena sarvatra samachetasa bhagavan bhakti yuktena prapta bhagavati gatihi. Ichodvesha vihitena sarvatra samachetasa bhagavat bhakti yuktena prapta bhagavati gatihi. Icha dvesha. Icha means desire. Dvesha means hatred. Like and dislike. You can put it another way. Okay, likes and dislikes. Vihitena, giving it up. Sarvatra, in all places. Sarvatra, in all things. Sama chetasa, with the same mind attitude. Sama chetasa, same, the oneness. Bhagavat bhakti yuktena. Here we saw in Adhyayam Yoga Yuktena, we saw that, right? So Bhakti Yuktena, highly skilled and ripened with love for Bhagavan. Bhagavati Gatihi, the goal of Bhagavan. Gati means both pathway as well as the goal. Both means Gati, okay? Bhagavati Gatihi, the goal that is Bhagavan, which is lotus feet, final merger, Sayujyam. Bhagavati Gatihi, Praptaha, it was obtained by him. It was obtained by him. And this is Kargava Prajapati did the job he was assigned to do in the manner that is most exemplary and dissolved back in Bhagavan. Okay, so he attained Sayujya. That is a basic message of that. Now, final slokam, if you take number 20 in Adhyayam 12, I want to quickly share this with you. Yetu dharmyamrutam idam yataha uktam parjupadate pradadhana mat parama bhaktaha te ativa me priyaha. Bhagavan says that who this dharmyamrutam, dharma amrutam that I taught you, which is mayeva mana adatva. That's slokam number 8 is the dharmyamrutam. Okay, that you talk about amrutam. Dharmyamrutam, the thing that we have to follow, that will take us to amrutam itself. That idam that has been taught by me, yataha uktam paryupasate. One who follows this and practices this and becomes very skilled at it, ripened at it, and worship me, paryupasate. One who worships this teaching in slokam number 8. Shraddhadhana, with Shraddhai, mat parama bhaktaha, with complete, exclusive, total bhakti, love to me. Mat parama, the supreme entity, the love. Te, that person, may to me, ativa priyaha, the most darling pet. Everywhere Swami says, Same priyaha, he is my darling, he is my darling. Here, ativa priyaha, extraordinarily I love him. That's exactly what happened to Kargama Prajapati. As in this particular slokam, we say Bhagavati Gatihi. That's what happened. इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां तृतीयस्कन्धे कापिलेये चतुर्विंश अध्यायः, the 24th adhyayam named Kapileya, the Kapila Muni. It's about Kapila's birth and of course Kardama's departure also is there. Basically about Kapileya means Kapila's birth. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.